And we're back. We're talking about the third act. We had some technical difficulties, but we're back. Rob was going to tell us about his opinion about this third act that seems to get going once it starts going.
Yes. I was saying that the third act seems like once we hit the third act, the movie starts to speed up and they're trying to get all these plot points and these bad guys and this, huge fight at the end and everything thrown all together. There might have been some, they say they didn't, cut any scenes, but it seems like there might have been some quick editing to shorten that last, bit, because they tried to expose so much in the first two acts and it felt like they rushed the last act. Not that it took that much away from the movie. I was still excited. I liked it. It just seemed like it really picked up pace and we were all over the place.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. It does seem like that third act is compressed, as it were. But I think as a whole, the movie doesn't drag very much. But it does seem like the third act it's like on 1.5 speed. It's a little faster than it needs to be. But then again, they want to wrap up everything and also make you happy. Because one of the things that this movie does is when you leave it, you're like, hey, I could try another one of these. That wasn't so bad. Because as good as this movie was, I still don't think it was a great movie. I think it was, it's better than every other DC movie. But
right. I think it's better by comparison, but you're right. It's not, it's not the, 95%, Rotten Tomato score. It's a good movie. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed it. I'd watch it again, but I'm not going to say it's the best superhero movie I've ever seen.
Right. It doesn't reach like Dark Knight levels of like, hey, that was an awesome movie. How did that work?
I walked out of Dark Knight and my jaw was on the floor.
Yeah. Or the other one. There's a Dark Knight and Logan. They're like,
yeah, Logan. We saw Logan together. And we walked out and we were like speechless for a couple of minutes. We were like, I need a minute before I talk.
Well, they did it. They knew how to put that picture together. Wonder Woman, I think, does a really good shot of kind of not rebooting, but kind of refreshing the palette, as it were, for the DC stuff.
Yeah.
And the problem, though,
I was just going to say, I think they nailed it on the tone, which was the important thing for them to do.
Right. It's kind of the bridge to go from this really super dark Snyderverse stuff into somewhat of a lighter tone without losing the darkness when it comes to this. I think you can have a mix of this just fine. You don't have to go no jokes or all jokey. You can have a middle ground. And I think Wonder Woman successfully will bridge that. The question is whether Justice League will make everyone forget that Wonder Woman happened, or will it be this, oh, good, 2 in a row kind of thing? That's got some director issues right now, but that's beyond the scope of the show right now because I don't want to discuss that. I don't think it was if you want to put it up against all the Marvel stuff, better than Iron Man 2, better than Iron Man 3, better than Thor 2, better than X-Men 3. I mean, that's pretty easy.
Yeah.
It's definitely one of the better comic book movies we've seen, but it might be like on par with First Avenger. Like it's essentially.
Yeah, no, I definitely, that's where I put it. Captain America, not the best one, but I enjoyed it. It was great. I'd watch it again, but there is room for improvement.
Right. I was hoping for like an Iron Man kind of feel of, okay, that was interesting.
Yeah.
And I think if this had been the first entry into the whole universe of DC in the movies, this would have been Iron Man. It would be like, hey, that was really good. Let's see where they go now. But because it's essentially suffering because of its past.
Mm-hmm.
It's stuck because it's tied to. It even starts off with like, here's a piece of glass from Bruce Wayne to show you the picture. And then I was like, oh, right, I remember that. Right, that was a stupid reason she was involved in that movie, right?
Yeah, it was the reason that they got her in there. But then again, I still stand by the fact that this movie continues on the fact that I thought she was the best part of Batman vs. Superman.
I was talking to somebody about that, and they're like, why do you think she's the best thing in that movie? I go, because she barely talks. And they're like, wait, what is that supposed to mean? And I said, listen, because every time they have somebody talk in that movie, they become dumber.
Yes.
And they're worse. And Wonder Woman is kind of quiet and a badass.
And she keeps that mystery and the badass. And also that little smile she does when she's fighting Doomsday is
excellent.
Just amazing.
Right there, though, that's a ton of character work without anybody giving her a line of dialogue.
And her music is absolutely badass.
I will say they were very reserved with the music, her theme in the Wonder Woman movie. I applaud them for that.
Yeah.
Because
I think they saved it for when she was really heroic and kicking ass. They didn't overdo it.
Okay, with that, we're going to wrap up part 2. We're going to thank our Patreon folks because I can't put up a video thing. I'm going to say thanks to Joe Goulad, Michelle Sergiu, Sriju, sorry about that, Paul Dow, Alan Char. Thank you guys for supporting us at the $10 level on patreon.com/IAS. We're still doing this show. I know I've been lax on posting them, but that's why we did the Hangouts on air, so it's live or whatever YouTube calls it now, because that's changed. I forget. Anything you'd like to say, JB, before we get out of here?
Thank you for watching, and Wonder Woman does not suck.
Oh yeah, go see that in the theater. It's like, definitely.
Yeah.
And tell other people that it's worth watching, because if DC or Warner Brothers gets the idea that that was not the right way to go, that would be awful.
Yeah, we want them to do more like this.
Yeah, so go do that.